Okay, today we're going to start with just doing our plate 15. It's a rectangular block. I've already squared up a pre-made title block, simple title block. You can find those instructions from an earlier class. This is our isometric we're going to do. It's basically a rectangular block, 1.5 inches by 4.5 inches, 2.5 inches tall. So the first thing we need to do for this drawing here is we need to find our starting point. So what we're going to do is from this intersection here of these two lines, we're going to measure over 2 inches. You're just going to make a light mark. And then from that spot, I just want you to measure up a 1/2 inch. And this will get or place our object pretty close to center on our page. So it's kind of tough to see, but if you look real close right there, you see a dot. That is our starting point. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our T-square. Make sure your T-square, the handle is always against the edge right here. You want that against the edge so you get a perfectly square horizontal line across your page. Once again, we have our starting point here. You're going to take your triangle now. T-square against the edge. You're going to place your triangle flat against the T-square. Line it up with that start point. You're going to draw a 30-degree line straight back to the left. Don't worry about the measurements right now or the length of the line. Measure or draw one back to the right. And let's go ahead and put a vertical line in here. And now if we compare this to our sheet here, you can see we have created this front corner here. This line's here, our vertical line here, and then this line off to the left here. Now we can go ahead and make our measurements. So if we make our measurements here, let's go ahead and do this line right here. That line is going to be 1.5 inches. Lay our ruler down, mark 1.5 inches. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to mark that for now. Not going to worry about that marker drawing that line vertical. Let's go over here to this other side now. This line here is going to be 4.5 inches. Lay my ruler down from my start point. Mark 4.5 inches. Okay, so I have those two marks. Now I can place my T-square and triangle back on here. I'm going to draw my vertical lines. Once again, I'm not worried about the measurement or the length of those lines. I'm just drawing them straight up. Draw this one straight up here. Okay, so we have this last vertical line here. Now, we can look at the measurements for how tall our block is. We can see back here that they're 2.5. Okay, so we can measure each of these lines 2.5 and then connect. But if we just measure this last one here, this back line here, so we're looking at this line here, if we measure that 2.5, which I'm going to do, we can basically transfer all of our measurements using our triangle and T-square to our other lines. So essentially, we're finished with the ruler. So I have my mark here. I'm going to draw this line forward to my front line, making sure my T-square is against the edge, triangle is against the T-square, so it's a true 30-degree line. Flip my triangle over. I can go back here. Now it's just a matter of connecting our lines, finishing up our project. So, draw one back here. Don't worry about the length. Flip it over again. Line it up at that corner, go back. There is my rectangular block. I can move that little ladybug icon out of the way. We can come through with an eraser, clean up all these marks, fill out our title block here. So we would have rectangular, all capital letters. block, and then just your first initial, last name over here. There you go. There's our finished one.